back to my channel and to my journey in beauty. Today's video is called Pan Ban, and it is a collab with my good friend and partner in crime here on YouTube, Beauty by Angela. I will have her channel as well as all of her other info linked down below as always, but let's talk about what this video is going to be. I'd had this idea quite a while ago. I've kind of been sitting on it, and then Angela and I were having a conversation one day, and I kind of asked her if she thought there ever was products in specific, like a type of product or an exact product that she would never or never again put in a project pan project, and she absolutely knew exactly what I was talking about, which is why I love her so much. And so we decided to turn it into a collab. I have some general categories here of projects I would never again or never ever put in a project pan project, but then I have some examples for each category. So let's get into it. Number one is I would never ever, and I have never, put a red or dark, like vampy lip color into a project pan. The reason being, I don't wear these colors enough. I do like red lipstick, and it definitely serves a purpose in my collection, but it's not something that I wear by any means all the time. So a few examples of this would be this Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Cayenne. I got this in a holiday set with a couple of other Bite Beauty lipsticks, and I really liked it. However, it's a bright red color. And then this is one that we got, is it the Laga Cloud Lips that we got in BoxyCharm, and this is in the shade Storm. You can see that it's so dark it almost looks black, and it is in fact a very deep berry tone. And then this is another one we got in BoxyCharm, and I do love this color. It's just more of a fall color for me. And this is the MAC Liptensity lipstick in the shade Burnt Violet. Again, you can see how dark it is in here, and it is an even darker berry or wine shade. So here's the Bite Beauty, here's the Cloud Lips, and here's the MAC Liptensity. These would never ever be shades that I could pan because I just don't wear them that often. They're more of a statement lipstick to me versus, you know, an everyday kind of shade. And I love making a statement with a bold or vampy lip, but I don't do it very often, and so that's why I would never put them in a project pan. Next thing I will not put in a project pan again, probably, at least in the example of these two, is blush. First of all, I love blush. I own a ton of it because I love variety, and that's why I won't ever again pan a blush. And like I said, at least not a firmly pressed blush like the two of these are. But these two blushes, I am still currently trying to pan them. One has been rolled into my year-long pan because I failed to hit pan during my Spring Fling project pan, and the other is currently in my hashtag It's Been Emotional project pan. So the ones that I'm talking about is, first of all, this teeny tiny pan of blush from the Balm. This is the Balm Springs blush. I received this in an Ipsy bag. It is literally, and see if you can tell, oops, you can tell how shallow this is. And I used a very dense blush brush from Crown with this and really ground the brush in there, loaded it up with product, and used it, you know, I feel fairly frequently, but because I love variety of blush, I like to wear a blush depending on what eye look or what clothes I'm going to wear or what have you. And so I think that's why I fail at panning blush, because I like variety. Also, this has got to be so firmly pressed. I don't even know how it's possible. I haven't panned it yet. And then my other example is the NARS Orgasm blush. This is a mini that I'm panning in hashtag It's Been Emotional. And this one, number one, the base pigment is not strong enough, so I have to use this over another more pigmented blush, as well as it is really firmly packed in there. And I don't always want to wear this as a blush topper. It has a gold shift to it, so if I'm doing a cool eye look, I don't want to wear it, you know, etc. So Never again probably will you see a blush in a project pan unless it's like a peeping pan type situation and I'm looking at some more loosely packed blushes. Next on my list of categories that I would never pan from my collection is luxury makeup and skincare products. I have a makeup example for you, but I'm also talking about skincare. If I paid a lot of money for it, I'm not in a hurry to get it out of my collection or to use it up or what have you. My example for that is any of the Hourglass products. This happens to be an ambient lighting powder in dim light. There is a lot of product in here. You know, it's domed up in there, as well as there's very little kick up, so I don't feel like a lot of product is being wasted, and I just would never try and pan something like this that is rather costly. Same goes for skincare. If I get a nice sample of something from COLLAB or Ole Hendrickson or Clarins or what have you, I'm not putting it in a project pan because I want to make it last as long as possible, because I'm not in the habit of buying luxury products. So, and of course, luxury is relative to you and your life situation and your purchasing practices and things like that. But for me, anything that I've spent a lot of money on, or I don't want to leave my collection because I want to have it around forever, which is the case with this powder, I'm not putting it in a project pan. And actually, this is the product that had kind of inspired this entire idea of mine. It's just, I would never pan it. I love it too much. Next is something that has to do with my individual skin type, and that is I will never put a cream product or a stick product into a project pan. The reason being is I have combo to oily skin. So while these cream products are really great for me during the winter and sometimes during the summer if I'm not wearing foundation, I might reach for a cream or stick product. But number one, a little goes a long way. I'm going to show you with this blusher, just a light swatch here, and there's a lot of product there, which is not conducive to trying to keep the oils at bay on my combo to oily skin. So things like this just won't ever find their way into a panning project for me because it would be an impossible, unattainable goal. So also for me, panning is about managing my collection and things like that, and it's just not that important to me to finish up cream products because I don't really use them that much. I could never buy another cream product again, and I would totally be fine with that. So eventually I will use these up or move them out of my collection or what have you, and I probably won't even buy anymore, let alone put them in a project pan. And last, this may come as a surprise to some of you. I know it is very, very common for people to pan neutral eyeshadow palettes, but that isn't me. I love colorful eyeshadow. Hopefully you can tell that today. A demo is coming soon, but for an example, I have the original Tarte Clay Play palette, and this is entirely neutral eyeshadows as well as face products. All of these products can be used both on the eye as well as the face. And this just would take me forever to pan based on the fact that I don't use a lot of neutral eyeshadow. I love having this palette that is all neutral, no shimmer, because it's a great go-to palette for me in terms of building a look, to have every depth as well as tone, warm, cool, what have you, of brown, black, gray, etc. So it does have a place in my collection, however, I don't use enough of it. Sometimes I may only take my transition out of this palette, or I might only take a slightly deeper shade to anchor the look on the outer part of the eye from this palette, as well as I do use it on my face, but I'm just never going to use it enough to pan it. I love color. And that leads into my next mention, and that is never will I ever pan a black eyeshadow. This right here is all the black eyeshadow you will ever need. This is the BH Back to Brazil palette, or Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I just don't use black eyeshadow. I don't even use it to darken up the outer corner. I tend to grab for a plum or a brown or something like that. I do, however, occasionally use black eyeshadow to line the lash line, the upper lash line for a little depth, and because I suck at eyeliner. But never, ever, ever would I put a black eyeshadow into a project pan. I hope you enjoyed this video and this concept. I thought it was really fun, and I'm so glad that Angela came on board to do this as a collab with me. I cannot wait to see what she says that she'll never put into a pan project, and I would love for you guys to leave me a comment below about an item you would never put in a pan project if you are a project panner. Or not. I hope all of your makeup days are beautiful makeup days. Happy panning, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!